Hey, what's up guys? Easy Yu-Gi-Oh here. Sorry I haven't made a video in absolutely forever. I've been busy with school and other stuff like that. And today I'm going to be bringing you the, in my opinion, 10 of the best budget decks of this next month of December. And these budget decks will probably continue on in the next format because I don't foresee any of them getting hit. But anyway, we're going to start with Harpies. This video may be longer because I'm going to explain what they do against the meta and how they kind of lose. But anyways, first video is going to be the first deck is going to be Harpies. And they have rank 7 access, which is really good, going to Draco Sack the guy. And they can play Skill Drain, which is a very good card right now. It's not too good against Klees, but they do have their own removal with the form of Harpies Hunting Ground. So they can get rid of scales very fast with that card if they're going second, because if Klees already have their scale up, then they can pop their scale with that. And then the next deck, and they're very budget friendly because no one's playing it right now. Like, my friend picked pretty much the core for like 50 bucks, and he had all the rest. So very cheap deck, and deserves to be on this list because nobody plays it. Next deck I want to talk about is Batteryman. Batteryman is one of probably the best cheap decks right now. It OTKs like easy. You don't even have to like think about OTKing, and it doesn't have to have an extra deck. Without an extra deck, that saves you a good $100 that you might be spending. Now granted, $100 is maybe much if you're like budget player, but in reality, if you want a good extra deck, it's going to at least cost you $100 at minimum. Because if you're going to go for Excite on Night, Castel, 101, Draco Sack, stuff like that. Now granted, you can play that. I don't even think you can play it in that deck. But stuff like that, you might not be able to use, but it's there. It's expensive cards, is really what it boils down to. The next deck is Bujin's. This deck died out for some reason. I have no idea, but I guess it died out because it revolves mainly, I guess, around battle advantage and how it has Cranes and Honest to attack, and it kind of plays with one monster, and if that monster dies, they practically lose, even though they have so many cards to keep it alive. And that's kind of how the deck works. You keep this monster on board as long as possible, and you get advantage off of this monster for as long as possible. And that's how Bujins pretty much play. And I'm not trying to diss on the deck or anything, but it's kind of boring. But all the cards are very cheap. It's like, I think it might be like $3 for a Yamato. You play 3 of those, 2 Mikazuchis. I think Hirame's a little expensive, but that's probably the only expensive card. All the extra deck cards are dirt cheap. There's nobody's playing Bujins right now. It's like the probably least played deck on this list. The next deck is Chainburn. Now you guys are probably like, Ethan, how'd you do that? Why are you putting Chainburn on here? Well, simple reason is, Chainburn is very, very, very good. It doesn't have to summon monsters, so it's good against Shadal matchups. It summons monsters, but those monsters are typically in the forms of Cardi or Lava Golem. Very, very minimal monster summon, so you don't special summon at all. And all you're doing is inflicting burn damage. And now, last time I checked, I didn't think Blackwing Dragon was a card really in the meta, because I think that stops like burn. But this deck is really good right now. Like, I hate burn players, and I always hate them. Every time I duel them on here, I'm like, you know what, quit. Like, it's just stupid playing against them because I always win. But it has very good draw power, very consistent. It opens up OTK typically 90% of the time, if you know what you're doing. And it doesn't punish you for playing recklessly, which is a very rare trait in decks. It doesn't punish you if you play recklessly, where you're just activating all your cards, because you're just going to draw them back with, like, accumulated fortune. Like, yeah, that's pretty good. The only problem I could foresee it having is, like, Stellar Knight Nova, which Stellar Knights have, so that would only probably be the worst match it has. Next deck is Machina Gadgets. This deck has a very, very good boss monster, which is Machina Fortress, and that card is very good because it just recurs all the time. The only bad matchup they have is really Shaddolls and Klees, because everything goes bad against Klees and Necros when they come out. Anyway, they have an amazing Satellar Knight matchup because the Satellar Knights are practically gadgets. Think about it, like all they're doing is practically searching special. They're pretty much the same thing. So I see gadgets as being a very good budget deck for right now, and I have like over half the deck, and I just like found some of the cards. I'm like, you know, might as well put it together, and it's very good. The only two extra deck cards you really need are the two Geargians, but you're also probably gonna want more, considering that you can overlay into any rank 4. And the next deck, Geargia. Geargia is on here not because it's my favorite deck, but because of how underplayed it is. Geargia is so underplayed, it is crazy. Like, people aren't playing Geargia right now, and Geargia is a very good deck, surprisingly. Like, it makes OTKs if you're playing Carrot Curry variant, and even if you're playing Pure, you can still do well. Like, you can just, okay, summon Augur, go Machine Dupe, pull out 3, special summon Accelerator, overlay into 2 Geargians, activate both their effects, search for 2 more cards, and just keep on going off of that. Very, very good. Next deck is going to be Fire Fist. Now, Fire Fist are on here because they got the Mega 10, which I'm pretty sure reprinted. Didn't it reprint most of them? I don't know. Anyway, this Bear is cheap, Gorilla is cheap, all the cards in there are cheap, minus Wolf Bark, which I think is 6. So you're spending $18 plus, I don't even know how much it is for the Fire Fist core. Tenki is relatively cheap. All the cards in there have been reprinted countless numbers of times. Like, I think Tenki's been reprinted twice. Bears are being reprinted twice. All the stuff's been in there has been reprinted. So, not too hard to get a hold of all the cards if you're smart. And they've got okay plays. They're very linear in their plays, but still, they're very, very, very budget, and they make rank 4s anything you want. Next deck is Dragunities. Now, people are going to be like, well, Vergiana's like $10, and I'm not sure that it is. But the deck can go into XYZs, and you can play that variant very well, because Dragunities are getting more support, which means the deck's probably going to be a little bit better. Now, granted, Ravine is gone, but they still play well. Like, I can still play Dragunities on here. I've played them before, and they're a very solid deck. They have everything they need to function in a deck, which not a lot of decks have. Some decks don't even have all the stuff they need to really function. Like, I don't know, what's a really bad archetype? I don't know, I can't think of one right off the top of my head. Some archetypes don't even have, like, the stuff they need to, like, function. Granted, they don't have draw power, but if you're playing I guess, a build where you can get your stuff to your hand fast, or in the graveyard fast, you're going to be fine. Then the second to last deck I want to talk about is Noble Knights, and you can spend $150 on this, and on the 3 boxes, and practically have everything you're ever going to need. Granted, some people don't have $150, but that's probably the cheapest way to go. Granted, the thing doesn't come with Brothers, but I think Brothers is, what, 5? I don't know, I haven't checked them in a while. But the deck is relatively cheap, and if you don't want to buy the boxes, people have already bought the boxes for, like, the Platinum Rotas, and I'm sure you probably already have 3 Rotas. I mean, if you're brand new to the game, you don't have them. But buying 3 of these is okay. Not the best investment, but definitely one that you will like to have, because Noble Knights are a very solid deck, and once they get out like one of their powered up monsters, it's pretty hard to get over it. And the last deck I want to talk about is the infamous Junk Plants. Now, Junk Plants are on here because everything got reprinted. Quasar got reprinted, and it's like a $2 card now. everything was reprinted. Now, granted, Gold Bulb's like 10, but everything in the deck is absolutely dirt cheap. Like, or no, Doppel Warrior might be a little bit. I don't know. Haven't looked them up because I don't want to play Junk Plants. Anyways, besides the point. Junk Plants are very, very cheap. All the stuff, Level Eater, Quick Draw Synchron, Dandelion's relatively cheap. Everything's dirt cheap in the deck, and you can practically build it with for nothing. So, what you're spending is already going to be made up, if that makes sense. So, you're not really losing any money. And that's going to wrap it up for this video. If you guys have any other budget decks that you want to leave in the comment section down below for other people to enjoy, please do so. It'll help out everybody, because I probably forgot a couple. And see you guys later. Don't forget that we do have a Clash of Clans clan if you want to like recommend video ideas, or you can leave them down in the comment section below. But anyway, this will be Easy Yu-Gi-Oh! Signing out.